This is Vince Russo's The Brand.
What is up, everybody? Welcome back to Wrestling with Tragedy, case number 00066. And this is going to be 20 years of heat. And we got a very special guest. Not very often we have guests coming on.
Wait a minute, did you just say 666?
No, I said 00066.
Oh, man, don't give us bad luck. But anyway, keep going.
Mate, Angel, thank you very much for your permission to continuing the intro. It is me, the bald, the beard, the beautiful Australian Piers Austin, and I'm joined by the Kingpin, the ECW original Angel motherfucking Medina. Angel, how you doing this week, bro?
Man, I'm doing great. I'm just happy that we're having another show. Keep pushing forward. I'm just pretty excited for today's show. We rarely have guests, so this is a treat for all the fans.
It is, man. But before we bring out our guest and give him the intro that he deserves, let's take a quick second, a quick pause for the cause, a quick moment to pay respects for the people above, the sponsors that make this show possible. First, let's go with smartcups.com. Now, smartcups.com, Angel, man, I can't get my day started any other way, man. I got a newborn. I've got lack of sleep, bro. These smart cups, man, they come with this energy infused. They're all natural, no preservatives, none of that crap, none of that crash afterwards as well, man. Like, I have like 2 or 3 of these things a day, bro. And it keeps me fresh, keeps me motivated, keeps me energetic to keep doing and keep rolling forward and doing everything that we do. And I know you do as well, Angel. And to be honest, Angel, you're getting up there in age, man. So like,
well, first of all, absolutely. I'm getting up there in age, but I do need smartcups.com because you always try to take over the show by rambling. So I have to have something to keep me going. So, definitely check out smartcups.com. If you have a spouse, if you have a friend that just keeps yakking and you just can't keep your focus, this will definitely keep you straight. Smartcups.com. Check it out.
Wow, Angel, thanks very much, man. Like, way to fucking bury me.
Don't try to bury me, man.
But look, our guest tonight or today for this show, former, writer for WWE, WCW, TNA, someone who has really impacted the business at a peak in wrestling and probably the biggest point in wrestling during the Attitude Era. And, someone, that we actually work for, the El Jefe of the Russo brand, Mr. Vince Russo, and we're going to be discussing 20 years of heat. And Vince has told us nothing's off limits, so let's bring Vince out.
Absolutely.
Vince, welcome to Wrestling.
Welcome.
What is up, gentlemen? I'm glad to be here, man. I've been wanting to hook up with you guys for some time. I'm glad we made this happen.
Well, I greatly appreciate you coming on the show, to pick one of the most creative minds in the wrestling industry, so I'm pretty excited. I don't get excited much.
Well, I'm just thankful for what you guys doing this show and giving this show to the brand. I'm very, very, very thankful for you guys. So yeah, man, whatever you guys want to ask, man, the world is yours, as the great Tony Montana would say.
So, Vince, as we were discussing in the pre-show of this, like, one of the things that, really piqued my interest in wanting to have you on and to sort of have the 20 years of heat story is, I've seen for 20 years, like, wrestling fans, and you see them online, whether it's Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, blaming you for certain things in wrestling. But at what point is it like, okay, bro, like, it's time to sort of step back? You know what I mean? Like, you're talking about something that happened 20 years ago, but they're complaining about it. But let's look realistically into it. They're still talking about it 20 years later. So at the end of the day, you've done a bad thing or a good thing here? Like, where do you see it on this side of the fence?
No, I mean, Piers, I agree with you 100%. I mean, bro, listen, the only show I'm down to watching is Raw. And the only reason I watch Raw is because I get paid to watch Raw. If they stopped paying me to watch Raw, I would watch no wrestling. But the truth is, bro, like, I right now, like 5 days after the fact, I can't tell you what was on Raw this past Monday. There's nothing memorable, good, bad, or indifferent. There's nothing memorable. And that's what it's all about, bro. It's about good, bad, or indifferent. You got to have people talking about the show. Some people are going to like it. Some people are going to love it. That's all subjective. But the fact that, like you said, bro, 20 years after the show, you guys are still talking about it. And I did a bad job. Like, really? But that's why, bro, it's absolutely ridiculous because, man, I wish we had something to talk about today. Literally, what's going on in wrestling today that we're going to talk about 20 years from now? What?
I mean, really nothing, because I mean, even when I watch wrestling today, like I said, like you said, there's nothing memorable. I only focus mostly on the past. You know, it's not saying sad to say, but my memories are like, man, I remember, you know, Ric Flair angles, and I remember Stone Cold angles, and I could just say them verbatim. But you're right. When I watch Raw, and I rarely watch it, but when I do, Pierce says, "Hey, did you watch it yesterday or last week?" I said, "Dude, I don't. What happened?" Because I'm just oblivious of what's going on, because it's just repetitive. There's no imagination into their stories.
Yeah. Well, you just used a key word there, Angel, repetitive. Okay. And this is why, like, I have zero problems with any criticism, and I'll tell you why. You know, Ed Ferrara and myself, when we were writing, we were wrestling fans. And our number one rule of thumb was, bro, we're not going to write something people have seen 100 times before. Because prior to us getting there, that's what they would do in wrestling. They would regurgitate the same ideas. I can't tell you how many times Ed and I would be writing a show and we would stop mid-sentence saying, no, bro, they've already seen that before. So a lot of the stuff with us was, man, just trying new things that the audience hasn't seen before. And bro, I am never, ever going to regret trying new things compared to just repeating something wrestling fans had seen 50 times before. I'm never going to apologize for that.
And I think that that's the main thing, as well as having that creativity to try something new and to try something, you know, even if it is outlandish. Mm-hmm. And, you know, one of the storylines that I was looking into that, you know, and please tell me if this is correct or not, that you would try to push to get OJ Simpson
that is an absolute lie, bro. That is a lie. I'll tell you, Piers, I'll tell you exactly, on my children, on God, I'll tell you exactly how that went down. That is an absolute folklore lie. I was at that point, bro. I was like junior writer. You know, it was Bruce and Cornette, and then I would just kind of sit in and watch them book and keep my mouth shut. And I will never forget, bro. I showed up at Bruce's house one day in Connecticut, and it was just me and Bruce. I don't know if Jim was out of it. I don't know where, but it was just me and Bruce. And Bruce told me he just got off the phone with Vince, and Vince was talking about bringing O.J. Simpson in to do an angle, and, you know, who's going to do an angle with Piper, this and that. And I turned around and, like, first of all, I couldn't believe it, because you got to understand, bro, this is right off of the heels of the not guilty verdict, where a lot of people were up in arms. I mean, like, this is right off the heels of it. So first of all, I couldn't believe that Bruce was telling me that. And then I turned around to Bruce and I said, bro, unless you're gonna book this where Ronald Goldman's dad beats the living shit out of O.J. Simpson, I said, you're out of your mind. You are out of your mind. So no, bro, that did not come from me. Listen, I have no problem whatsoever. And you're going to throw things out here, Pierce, and I'm going to own them. I got no problem with it. But when something did not come from me, I am going to tell you it did not come from me. That did not come from me. That was presented to me by Bruce after just having a conversation with Vince.
I'll be honest, I would have popped for it, seeing O.J. Simpson do a Hertz commercial, jumping over everybody, just try to get into the ring.
But you know what? Like, professional wrestling, like, there's been nothing off limits. Like, we've seen Trish Stratus on all fours barking like a dog, for fuck's sake. And, like, you look at it,
the hand,
you know, from something along that line, that is probably crossing the barrier way past.
No, bro, that's the thing too. Because listen, Piers, I think I've always had an advantage because I've always tried to be the guy on the outside looking in. I've made it a point. I'm not going to be part of this wrestling bubble, man. I'm not. So within the wrestling bubble, Piers, that was no big deal. It was really no big deal. But from somebody on the outside, I'm like, are you freaking kidding me, bro? Like, do you understand how absurd that is? And the heat that this company, I mean, so no, bro. I remember that. I do remember that specifically, but not from me, bro.
You know,
imagine if someone tried to pitch that, like if the OJ Simpson thing happened in 2021 and someone tried to pitch that today, bro, get the fuck out.
Yep.
Yeah. But you know, one of my favorite things, I mean, you've done a lot of things in professional wrestling that stands out, but my favorite moment was the brawl fall.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was to me, it was great. I mean, I always wanted to see Bradshaw's teeth get knocked in. I mean, it was a classic. It was classic. But I mean, you got heat from Cornette. I mean, I've seen some interviews that they thought it was the most ridiculous thing that was ever done. But I just thought it was a work of genius because it definitely took the wrestling to a different level.
Well, see, Kingpin, that's the thing about Cornette. Cornette's going to put the heat on me for pitching an idea to the owner of the company. The owner of the company decided to do that idea. You know, you guys got to understand, my job with Vince was to rapid fire and pitch ideas nonstop. Boom, 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 boom. The Brawl for All was one of those ideas. At the end of the day, Vince loved it. It's his show, and he decided we were going to do the Brawl for All. So if people don't understand the ridiculousness of Cornette cutting a promo on me because I pitched something to Vince, which was my job to do, because he'll never cut that promo on Vince. Vince was the guy that said, yeah, I like that. We're going to do that. And we did it. You're going to blame the guy that's pitching ideas or whatever, bro. I mean, Cornette pitched, guys coming out of boxes. Do you hear me cutting promos on Cornette? I mean, if Vince wanted to do guys coming out of boxes, he would have. And quite frankly, he did as a rib to Cornette. That's what Chainsaw Charlie was. Cornette, well, guys come out of a box, they're instantly over. And that's why Vince did Chainsaw Charlie.
But like with the Brawl for All, though, like, you know, we saw guys. And for me, when the Brawl for All happened, I was 16 years old. So even then, I was a kid, so I'm looking at this going, it's not my fault I'm younger than you, bro, and you're like, what, 70? But, you know, like, I looked at the Brawl for All, I remember thinking, is this a work? Is it a shoot? Like, not using those terms, but I was going, is this real or is this like where is this wrong? Because, like, you're seeing, like, guys absolutely knocking each other out cold and clean, and you could know when someone really gets knocked out. You know what I mean? Like, that is, you know, like, you can't sell that.
Yeah, that was, you know, Piers, you hit the nail head on, because I remember, bro, like when this first started, there was really like no response because it was like that. Wait a minute, what, bro? But when Bart started knocking people's eyes into the back of their head, that's when people were like, holy shit, this is real. And that's when people really started getting with it.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I've been seeing people with snot bubbles coming out of their nose when he just knocked them out. I mean, he was a beast. I really didn't think he had that type of hand skills that was putting people out, you know, especially the Godfather, who is tough as nails, put him out.
I swear.
I don't know who blew his knee out.
Angel, that you're talking about that Godfather one, bro. To this day, I mean, I've watched a lot of boxing. I'm not a big MMA guy, but I've watched a lot of contact. I've never seen anybody get hit that hard to this day than Bart hitting Godfather. I mean, if you go back and look at that, Godfather's eyes literally rolled to the back of his. I've never ever seen anybody. See, that is my one regret, bro. Like, that is my one regret, bro. The injuries were, you know, guys pulling hamstrings and this and that. Okay, bro, like that could happen in a wrestling match, all right?
Right.
However, bro, this is my only regret right now. Bro, if we knew back then about CTE and head trauma, if we knew back then what we knew today, I would have never pitched that to Vince. Because, you know, when I look at that today, knowing what we know about CTE and head trauma and concussion and, you know, seeing those guys get hit like that in the head, like I would never book that today because of what we know.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I agree. I mean, that CTE, I mean, like with ECW, you know, don't put your hands up. take the chair shot. I mean, there's a classic video of using Vito as an example. Balls Mahoney just drilling that chair over his head. He took it like a champ, but CTE, I mean, I'm scared because sometimes I forget things and I'm like, is it because I'm just getting older, or is it maybe I do have a issue with my brain? It's scary.
But you know what? Like,
that's another thing, Piers. Like, I made that statement about, I would never do that again. If we knew today what we knew back then. And immediately Brian Alvarez cut a promo on me, calling me a liar, saying we knew about CTE back then. No, we didn't, bro. Again, this is what I tell everybody all the time. Bro, the data and the dates and the facts are out there. That the CTE stuff, bro, really broke in the NFL with that one doctor that they did the movie on. Bro, go look at your dates. Go look at when the Brawl for All was, and then go look at when that doctor came forward in the NFL. It was years after the Brawl for All. That's what I mean about these guys. They paint this picture, and at the end of the day, if anybody ever checks their facts, they're full of shit. Why would I say, bro, you know what? If we knew about CTE, back then, I wouldn't have done it. Why would have I said that if I knew about CTE and I didn't? Why would I say that? But that's what these people do. They turn everything into like just absolute bullshit. And all you got to do is go check the facts. Okay, here was the Brawl for All. This is when the CTE stuff really broke in the NFL. It was years later, bro.
Yeah, it was almost like 10, or not 10 years later, but I think it was like 2006 is when it broke. Because 1998, and not to get off topic here, but I was playing football as a teenager. I remember being knocked out in a first half of football in the first 5 minutes, having my coach stand over me going, "Wake the fuck up!" You know what I mean? Continuing to play for the rest of the game with completely out of my brain.
Yep. Yeah, but that's different. Back in the days, in wrestling, are you hurt or you injured?
Yeah.
It was, you kept going. And stuff like that. But Vince, if you had to do the Brawl for All over again, would you do the protective equipment like headgear and stuff like that, or would you just scratch it?
I wouldn't pitch it. I wouldn't pitch it, bro. I would not pitch it, because I would not pitch it with the fear of Vince McMahon going for it and knowing what we know about head trauma. I would not pitch it, bro. I would keep my mouth shut today.
And also the fact is as well, you look at it today where they've got the HIA test and everything like that, where you've seen WWE have such strict concussion laws and protocols that they'll just say to wrestlers, no, you can't wrestle. Like, you're not viable. So if they had a Brawl for All tournament today and a wrestler end up getting, a serious injury where they've said, okay, you can't wrestle anymore, they could essentially then sue the company for saying, well, hold on a second. I got it performing for you, and now you're fucking telling me that you don't want me anymore. I'm damaged goods.
Yeah, but you also got to look at the fact that there's some wrestlers that are suing WWE because, like ECW, for example, that they said that he since he owns ECW, he is liable for all the stuff that, injuries, head injuries and stuff like that, and people are trying to sue him because of that, which would it fly? I don't know.
They own the intellectual property, so they would. So, but as far as like the Brawl for All, Vince, like I sort of heard, and the rumor was that Dr. Death Steve Williams was the guy that was earmarked to go on.
Absolute lie.
So there was no earmarked champ.
It's another fifth. Absolutely not, bro. We had no idea going in who was going to win this thing. There were no plans for anybody if they won it. Bro, that all came from JR, who was behind that horse. And JR was without a doubt Dr. Death. And that's why, like, JR, in JR's mind, he was already thinking, and he was already telling Dr. Death, you go all the way through this, then they're going to put you in a program with Austin. Bro, 1,000% sitting at that table with Vince McMahon when we're going through all this shit. We never even discussed who was going to go over in this thing because we didn't know. Now, like anything else, bro, we're talking about who we think is going to win, but absolutely not 100% myth.
One thing I was just curious, getting off the brawl is I was always curious about this like Eric Young story about you wanted to give him the strap, the title contention, and Jim Cornette was against that one. But I thought Eric Young was an excellent wrestler. Still is.
That's an absolute myth too.
That's a myth too?
I have no idea where that came from. Absolutely not.
Jesus Christ. It's like all these fables are happening.
Absolutely not true. I was a big Eric Young fan. I mean, no doubt about it. I thought Eric Young was a tremendous character. I'm a big fan of Eric Young to this day. Absolutely untrue.
Oh, yeah, he's a hell of a worker. I mean, he has grown so much in this business. And like I said, he still has a lot to give.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm surprised WWE let him go.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a guy, Angel, you want on your team. I mean, you want a guy like Eric on your team. But no, if I never, ever pitched Eric Young being the champion.
That's weird.
But, like Vince, as far as like, time in TNA, there was one, infamous promo that Roddy Piper really shot on you. And it was very uncomfortable to watch, and he blamed you for booking Owens passing. And, please tell me if you don't want to discuss this, but like, seeing your body language in that moment in that ring when Piper's there, like, was that sort of pre-planned for you guys, or was that a
no,
shoot?
Bro, let me first back it up, because again, I've told this story, Piers, 1,000,000 times, and no matter how many times I tell the story, this is the part of the story that's always ignored. You can go back to my book, bro, which I wrote in 2002. So we're talking about a couple of years off of the incident. That's why I'm so happy I wrote my book, bro, because it was like 2 years after everything happened. And if you look at in the last 20 years how these stories have changed, bro, go back to what I said right after it happened. Piers, what I've said 1,000,000 times, but everybody will always ignore, and it's Vince Russo killed Owen Hart. Bro, that show, that pay-per-view was written. It was done. I was in my office, bro, one night. It was probably Thursday before the pay-per-view, I would guess. I can't tell you the exact date, but I was dotting the I's and crossing the T's. It was done. The show was done, okay? I get a call from the guy's name was Steve Taylor, and he was in charge of building operations for the WWE. Steve later went on to work for MSG. I don't know if he's still working there, but that was the last contact I had with him. But he was the director of operations. He calls me and tells me, Vince, the team that rigs Sting at WCW, they want to come to the pay-per-view to show us what they can do for us. Is there anything you can do, where they may be able to, show us what they can do? And bro, as he said that, I'm looking up and down the script because, okay, Steve, if you want me to try to come up with something where they could show what they could do, fine. I go up and down the script and I see the Blue Blazer. And I said, wow, bro, that would be a great entrance for Owen. It would be like a super type hero entrance for Owens. That would be really cool. And I said to Steve, well, yeah, bro, Owen's on the show as the Blue Blazer. Perhaps they can do something there. Bro, it was never written into the show. It was never a pertinent part of the show. It was never an important part of the show. The only reason it was written in was because I got that phone call. If I would have never got that phone call, Owen was not repelling from the ceiling. Nobody ever wants to talk about that, bro. Everybody wants to say, I wrote that into. No, I never wrote that into the show. I put that into the show because I was asked to find a spot for the WCW riggers. Now, on top of that, bro, with Piper, bro, when I was at TNA, we were, and you're going back now to, God, bro, 2002, whatever you're going back to. This was the evolution of the wrestling business. This is where wrestling should have went. The idea was, bro, we're not going to script everything. We are going to improvise, and people are going to have to act and react. And that was my idea. And I was really excited about it, bro, because I thought this was the evolution of the wrestling business. So, bro, what would happen is everybody would be there at TNA. They're going over the show, this, that, and the other thing. Bro, the only people that knew I was showing up was Double J and the Harris boys, who were like Jeff's right-hand men, because they would be the one to go to the back of the building and open the door and let me in. That's how I got into the building. Bro, that's it. We were the only ones that knew. So that this was one of those nights, bro, where I was going to hit the ring, man. Nobody knew I was in Nashville. Nobody knew I was right outside the building. Nobody knew. So I'm waiting for my cue, and bro, I hear the bagpipes. Bro, Jeff didn't tell me Piper was going to be on the show, so they worked me. And I'm like, oh, okay, bro, all right. You got one up on me. I didn't know Piper was going to be on the show. So, bro, I'm literally waiting outside because I was waiting for my cue, and they hit Piper's music, and then I start hearing Piper cut that promo. And I'm out there, bro. And, you know, when he started saying that stuff about Owen, I just said to myself, I said, bro, if nobody else is going to shut this guy up, I'm going to go out there and do it myself. Now, I'm not meaning physically. I mean, the guy would have freaking killed me, but I could not take hearing him say another word. So I literally went out there, and I'll never forget, bro, when I went out there, his back was turned. And I went out there and I got in that corner, and he turned around, and there I was. And he had no idea. And bro, I swear, I don't know if he's going to take a shot at me. I have no idea what's going to happen at that point in time. But I'm like, bro, there's no way this guy's going to talk about me killing a man that I freaking loved and would have done anything in the world for. This is not going to go on. So, it didn't. I mean, he saw me, but I think he might have paintbrushed me or something, but the promo stopped.
Yeah, and I commend you for that, because I watched it yesterday, and you're right, he did paintbrush you because you was asking for the mic, and I thought he hit you in the side of the head, but he had the book in his hand, so I don't know how he, struck you, but you composed yourself professionally. I mean, that was the thing, because I would have headbutted him right there. I mean, I respect Piper, but when you're in my personal space, you know how in New York you can't get in nobody's personal space.
Bro, I swear to God, Angel, this is really like what was going through my head, believe it or not. But this is how hot I was. Like, as I'm standing outside and I know, bro, somebody needs to shut this guy up, I'm literally, what's going through my head is, okay, bro, do I hit the ring? Do I leg dive him from behind and just get killed? But, bro, you got to remember, this is the absolute truth. Bro, I was just coming off of that lawsuit with Hogan, where Hogan sued me for defamation of character and all that shit. And in my mind, I'm like, bro, I'm not going through that again. Like, I am not going to put myself in a position that I'm going to go through something like that. That's why I just went out there and I just stood in the corner and I kind of put it in his court to, like, okay, bro, like, where's this thing going to go? And that was, all of that, bro, was 1,000,000% a shoot.
Did you ever in that situation fear that it could have turned physical?
No, because he was smarter than that. He wasn't going to do it. No, Roddy Piper was not going to do something like that. Now, if I would have done something to him, I think he would have absolutely killed me, but he was not going to do something like that.
Before that promo, was there any interaction before that with you and him? Like, were you aware of like heat between the two of you?
No, I think, bro, I was aware that he had mentioned something like that before. I mean, I think I had heard or read somewhere that he had mentioned something like that before, but that was really the extent of it.
Yeah, because I said,
I did find out later, Piers, though, because I did appear on his show, and this is that wrestling bullshit, bro. That like to me, it's like, guys, get out of your effing bubble, like, and be human beings. I found out years later when I went on his show, bro, he actually had heat with me. This is where Piper's heat with me started, and then he added on the Owen stuff, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Bro, here was Owens. Here was Piper's heat with me. He told me on his podcast, bro, that when I was at WCW, and he came to work for the first time that I was there. Okay, his problem, bro, and his issue was Ed Ferrara greeted Piper before I did. So in Piper's mind, like, that was me showing him up, like, oh, I'm going to send my little minion to say hello. And I'm like, Roddy, Ed saw you first, bro. Like, that's what it basically came down to. He saw you before I did, bro. Are you? So that's how wrestlers are. I mean, come on, Angel. You know, in their mind, oh, this guy's showing me up. He's sending his little minion. No, bro. He saw you before I did. It was that simple. But, bro, that's what built up his heat towards me. And I'm like, bro, are you freaking kidding me? If I would have saw you before Ed, I would have approached you first, man. That's what that's the freaking wrestling business, bro. People have heat with you. No, they never tell you why, so you have no idea. And then years later, you find shit like this out, and you're like, and bro, and I even said that to him on his show. I'm like, why didn't you say that to me then? If that's what you thought, what I gotta find out freaking years later, something ridiculous like this?
That's
what
crazy.
was his response?
Nothing. Nothing. He probably thought I was bullshitting him, bro. He probably thought I was lying to him.
See, what you should have done is like walk up to him, put on some white gloves, and shake his hand. And he goes, "What's the gloves for?" "Oh, I don't get my hands dirty with the help."
Yeah, exactly.
Then there's your heat right there.
I mean, these guys, though, that's the thing, Piers. It's like that's why I have heat with Roddy Piper, because Ed Ferrara saw you before I did. Okay.
You know, one thing that just throws me for a loop is that all the stories you're saying, like, you're a writer, you present it to the boss. Yep. I mean, just like any corporation, you do a presentation, you go, "Here, boss, check this out." And the boss looks at it, either it's great or it's the shits. And the boss is, you know, he was able to stop it right there. Says, "Look, this is garbage. Do it over again." Like you said, nobody ever goes to Vince like, "Dude, what the hell? You're an idiot." You know, not to tell him that, but, you know, like, nobody puts the heat on him. It's always like going back to you. Since you wrote it, you're the source of it. Since you presented it, it's your fault, because Vince just took
and then Angel, the funny thing is, on the other side of that coin, when it was good, that was all Vince. Yeah, that was Vince's idea. Yeah, Vince McMahon was
genius.
It's so funny, bro. It's unbelievable. That's why, like, for me to get hot over such stupidity when I know what went down, and the people that I worked with, the Austins, the Rocks, you know, those guys knew what went down and how it worked and what was going on. For me to get pissed off out from people that don't have a clue, like, I'm so pissed off.
Oh yeah, I mean, they don't give the credit where it's due. I mean, like, using Stone Cold for example, I remember Mikey Whipwreck used to do the whippersnapper, and that was the stunner. And I was just watching a video recently where it was like, "Oh yeah, that was Michael P.S. Hayes who came up with the idea, you know, for me to do the stunner." And I'm like, wait a minute. I remember Mikey Whipwreck hit Austin with the stunner in the ECW arena, but nobody ever goes back in time and says, "No, it happened there."
Yeah.
But Michael, you know, knowing Michael P.S. Hayes, he goes, "No, but I put the boot in. You know, Mikey just hit it." You know.
Yeah.
You know, Vince, like, one of the people that obviously, you know, publicly has been, you know, someone who for years has you know, thrown heat your way, and that's Jim Cornette. Now, Jim Cornette, the stories that I've heard from either side over the years, it always seemed like, I don't know if there was like a jealousy that Jim Cornette had for you, because I think the Attitude Era, you know, you're coming in with these fresh ideas, what's at the time what's happening in the culture in the 90s, and your ideas are getting on TV. Do you think that it stems from jealousy from that?
Well, it stems from a couple of things. I'll tell you exactly what it stems from. And man, I'm bringing this up for a reason, to make a point. Somebody, it was in my Twitter feed yesterday. Somebody sent me in my Twitter feed. I guess there was there was footage of Cornette from years ago, and he's dropping the N-word like it's cookies. He's just dropping the N-word, and somebody caught it's like a 4-minute video, bro, and they sent it to me. Okay, but here's the reason why I bring that up. Cornette made it clear in that video how he feels about black people. He made it. It's in the video, bro. Like, it's clear, yeah. Bro. That's how much he hates Northerners. That's how much he hates New Yorkers. Jim Cornette hates. So that's number one, bro. He hates New Yorkers. Bro, Jim Cornette used to try to insult me. Andrew, you'll get a kick out of this. He always used to refer to me as a Yankee. Till finally I had to say to him one day, Jim, do you understand? We've got a baseball team called the Yankees. Like, I'm not offended by that, bro. You're not offending me by calling. I don't know if he thought, I'm like, you're not insulting me by referring to me as a Yankee, bro. We have the New York Yankees, if you haven't noticed. But here's what happened, Piers, and there were two instances. There are exactly two instances. Bro, when Vince, gave me the, knighted me to start writing TV. Okay. At that time, it was me, Vince, and Cornette. Bruce Pritchard had taken over talent relations because JJ went to WCW. So Bruce went to talent relations. I stepped in Bruce's spot in creative. Okay. So, bro, the three of us would meet. Now, you got to understand, bro, the WWE's in the red at this point. They are in trouble. They're not publicly owned. This is the era of Mantar, the Goon, Billy Joe Floyd, the whole 9 yards. They're in trouble. Vince knows, bro, what we're doing is not working. Vince knows that. That's why I'm there. That's why, because he literally was in a position of he had nothing to lose. That's why I'm there. So now you got Cornette and you've got me, and everything with me that I'm talking to Vince about is the Attitude Era. Vince, you need to take the Wrestling 101 playbook, throw it out the freaking window. We need to start mirroring society, what's happened now. And as a shoot, Cornette is talking about putting somebody in a box ringside because everybody that comes out of a box is over. Okay, so, bro, everything now, there's three of us, and everything is me and Cornette doing this. Now, bro, I knew sitting there, I knew Vince was looking for a change. I knew he was looking for a change, and Cornette was not only staying the same, but like going backwards. So, bro, this is exactly what I did, okay? And anybody that knows, bro, you don't give Vince McMahon ultimatums. If you give Vince McMahon an ultimatum, he's going to fire you on the spot. It doesn't work that way, bro. So here's what happened, Piers, and I'm being honest with you. We were spending so much time banging heads in those meetings, and, bro, you're talking about this is the creative for the company. So I'm like, bro, we can't waste time like this. Like, we can't, the company depends on our creative. So I went to Vince's office. I was still doing a magazine. So it was probably, I don't know if I went to see Vince because of this or if this was brought up in the conversation, because I was still meeting with Vince with the magazine.
Yeah.
So I said to Vince, and me and Vince in a conversation, I said exactly what I just said to you. I said, Vince, with all due respect, bro, for your company, you can't afford to waste this time in these creative meetings. You can't afford it. It's a total waste of time to have me and Jim Cornette there arguing. And I said to Vince, Vince, quite honestly, you kind of need to decide on which way you want to go. And I said, I'm still doing the magazine. I'm happy doing the magazine. I wasn't going to be fired or I'm happy doing the magazine. But bro, this cannot continue like this because we are on two completely different pages. Okay. Yeah. So bro, the next time I went to Vince's house, I used to go to Vince's house every week. The next time I went to Vince's house, Cornette was not there. And then it was just me and Vince. And bro, history repeated itself at TNA when, I was writing, Cornette was really an on-screen character and an agent, and he was in production meetings, but he wasn't really writing or anything like that. And Jeff Jarrett, brought in Cornette, and Jeff Jarrett was trying to get me and Cornette to work together. Okay. And bro, Jeff would have been able to massage that because he was massaging it. Bro, then what happens? Karen Angle. So now Dixie is bullshit at Jeff because Jeff told Dixie to her face nothing was going on. Dixie found out something was going on. And keep in mind, Dixie kept telling Kurt, there's nothing going on. Jeff has assured me nothing's going on. This is all in your head. So now when Dixie finds out there's something going on, now she's like, I've been telling Kurt there's nothing going on. Like she was bullshit. So what did Dixie do? She sent Jeff home and she got rid of the people. She got rid of Jeff's people. And that was mainly Cornette and Dutch Mantell. And and that was also an old school booking philosophy that Dixie really wasn't with. So, you had two instances where Vince Russo, in one instance, I don't want to say I was chosen over Cornette. And in the second instance, Cornette was kind of sent home and I stayed there. But bro, the reason for all that stuff, and again, anybody can see this up until today, if you watch Jim Cornette's podcast or anything, bro, here was the backbone of both those reasons. You can't work with Cornette because he won't change his ways. He is set in his ways. He's not open to change. He's not open to discussion. In Cornette's mind, what worked in 1970 is going to work in 2021. Now, elements of what worked in 1970 may work, but not everything. And that's what it always came to with Jim. He was so bullheaded and so dug in that his way is the right way because this worked in 1970. And bro, it got to the point in a lot of places, people did not want to work with him. He went to Ring of Honor. I had nothing to do with Ring of Honor. I was never there. And what happened? He was relieved of his duties of Ring of Honor. Then he went to NWA. I wasn't at NWA. I had nothing to do with that. He was relieved of his honors. That's always been the issue with him, bro. He's not willing to work with others and other ideas and other philosophies. And when it came down to Vince or Jim, Vince was a lot more open to all aspects of wrestling. So I think it's a combination of, those instances. And bro, like I said, he absolutely hates New Yorkers. He wrote a letter to Terry Taylor and he basically said in that letter, if I could kill Vince Russo and get away with it, I would. And I'm like, over wrestling, bro? Like, you'd kill me over wrestling? Like, really, bro?
And that was what I was gonna. Sorry to interrupt, Angel, but that was one of the things I wanted to touch on next as well. And you mentioned him getting released. I think it also comes down to in business, and like you look at major companies like WWE, TNA, Ring of Honor. Probably at the time was going from that indie level into that next party category, and NWA. You have to have some level of political correctness in 2021.
Absolutely.
You saw what his joke that he did on NWA. Like that shit isn't acceptable in this fucking planet, bro. Like you just And as you said, he's still stuck in 1971. Yeah. Like I've got uncles and shit that are the same way. That's like, fuck, I wouldn't have them around, friends of mine over some of the shit that they would say. But it just sounds like Cornette is just, like as you said, stuck in that old mentality.
Well, his mentality is the old way is the right way. You don't change what's broken, and if it worked back in the 70s, it will still work today. I mean, he just doesn't. I mean, I don't know the man. I mean, this is just I know from the boys that just dealt with him. He just doesn't hold himself accountable. He always thinks he's the grand wizard of everything and can't be wrong, which that's not good because you have to accept the responsibility and say, hey, I was wrong. Didn't work. And that's what I see him as. Like he doesn't want to just fess up that he's wrong. And the weird thing, the guy who chips his teeth all the time, he's not a fighter. He doesn't look like he could whoop ass, but he talks a good game. You know, this is the guy who was shit himself when he was hanging off the scaffold, and Bubba and the boss man, I forgot his name, but at the time, but was supposed to catch him and he broke his ass bone or whatever he did. I mean, I don't know, but like I said, I don't know the guy. I can't talk bad about him, but from the experience that I heard about him, he's just crazy. I mean,
and that's the thing, bro. Like, I don't think anything I just said was talking bad about him. He can't play well with others. And I mean, and in my experience with him, not being able to play with others led to his downfall both times. I mean, that's the truth.
Yeah, and that's in any business. They want people who can adapt. They want people that can
any business, bro. Any business.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Right.
But as we start to wrap up the show, Vince, I wanted to ask, and as far as mentally, how you deal with this constant from fans and constant from people in the business for as long as you have. How do you mentally deal with it? Like, are you at the point now where you just if you see something, you just block it or like not even respond to it? Like, where are you at with it now?
It's just here's what bothers them more than anything. This is the problem, bro. They can't erase facts. They can't erase the numbers. They can't. Anybody can go back and look at what wrestling drew when I was writing at any company. I mean, people called TNA. Russo was an absolute failure at TNA. Meanwhile, bro, we were drawing 2 million people on Spike. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, the numbers are there. So when anybody wants to talk about Russo was a failure at WCW. Oh, really, bro? My first 3 months there, we went from a 2.5 to a 3.5 in 3 months. Those numbers are there. They're there, bro. You're never going to be able to erase the numbers of where wrestling went when I was writing it. So, it's like, I mean, Angel, you were in the middle of all this and you were in the middle of the boom, and ECW was a big part of that, and it was a big boom. But like, when we look at how many people were watching wrestling then compared to how many people are watching it now, but they'll tell you it's a great time to be a wrestling fan. Like, bro, look at you had, bro. I'll never forget. It was a regular TV, and I was there having a conversation with Vince, and Kevin Dunn walked into our conversation, and he had this dumbfounded look on his face, and it was like, Vince was like, Kevin, like, what's wrong? And I'll never forget this as long as I live. This is when it was Monday Night Wars. And Kevin looked at Vince and said, Vince, I never thought I'd see the day where wrestling was drawing over 10 million people on a Monday night. 10 million.
Wow.
I'll never forget that conversation because I think that was the first time that number went over 10 million. And then you look at today, like Raw with their 1.5 million and AEW with their 800,000. And it's a great time to be a wrestling fan. Like, really, bro? So it's like, Piers, I guess the answer is it's so ridiculous when you factually look at everything. It's so ridiculous. It's gotten to the point of being so ridiculous that it's really laughable at this point.
You know what's funny is that I agree with you because I don't watch AEW a lot, but I was watching the part where Malachi Black showed up and he was supposed to be a surprise. But the commentator was like, it's Malachi Black. Well, if this is supposed to be a surprise and this is supposed to be this mystery killer, why are you mentioning his name? Did they not tell you? How do you know his name?
Well, bro,
they don't communicate.
Here's another thing, man, that they don't understand. Piers, you watch AEW?
I
got blankets. He watches it.
Well, guys, I don't watch it. I saw 5 minutes of this the other day, and I'm like,
I've tried to watch it, but every time I start, I go, nope.
Bro, I'm watching it. I saw 5 minutes of this the other day because the clip was put up, and I'm like, okay, they don't have a clue to how we're doing this wrong. They don't have a clue. That's what I mean. So you're going to bury me because of my success and my numbers because you don't have a clue of the right way to do things. So that's my fault. Guys, do you remember, everybody remembers, John Stossel and David, what's
Dr. D. David Schultz?
David Schultz.
Yeah.
We remember.
Slap.
Okay, we remember that. We remember Stossel said something about wrestling being fake, and one slap, Schultz disconnected his jaw. He went down. We all remember that. Okay, so bro, let's fast forward to AEW circa 2021. There's this dude in the and he's a somebody, and you guys probably know who he is. Dave Lambert. He represents America's Top Team. Okay, bro. He represents America's Top Team. He's in the promo. He's in the ring cutting a promo, and he's burying AEW. He's burying the AEW fans. He's making a mockery out of it. Okay. So, bro, here comes Lance Archer, hits the ring. Lance Archer hits the ring. He's pissed off. Okay, bro, remember what happened when David Schultz got pissed off at John Stossel. Remember that, right?
Yep.
So, bro, what does Lance Archer do? Here's what Lance Archer does. Hits the ring, backs him off verbally, picks him up, sits him on the top rope, puts him in his finishing move. The guy's up there selling it. Oh. I'm like, you guys like not know how to do anything. Like, okay, bro, Lance Archer is hot, and Lance Archer isn't going to David Schultz him, isn't going to just smack this guy across. No, bro, we're going to pick him up. I'm going to put him in my finishing move. Oh, so now you guys rehearse this all day. So the guy, like, do you guys like not know how to do anything? That's what I'm talking about, bro. So it came across as so fake, phony, rehearsed wrestling rather than what really should have happened. Well, what really should have happened is what David Schultz did to John Stossel. That's what really should have. The minute you're picking a guy up and putting him on your shoulders to hit your... Come on, guys! Like, please
give it.
That's how it is. That's how it is now. That's how it is now. Because remember back in the days, you'd be like, brother, once I cut that promo, you come in, you blast me, you give it to me. We got to make it believable. Don't worry about it. Just hit me.
Yep.
You know.
Yep.
And it's not like that no more. Guys are sensitive.
You know? So one of the things talking about AEW one of the things I remember was when they did their first show, I think it was all in or all out or whatever. The first thing they did before AEW came out, and you tweeted Cody saying, "Hey, if I can help in any way, let me know." And his response was pretty much, "Stay the fuck away from our show." Like why would he have that sort of mentality? Is he,
well, bro,
living in the past with some?
He also, bro, somebody had asked him about me during that time, and he also referred to me as a homophobe. Bro, I've never met this guy. I know I worked with his dad. I know I had a lot of success with Dustin. And here I'm hearing this guy call me a homophobe. He knows nothing about me. I've never had a conversation with Cody Rhodes. Why is he doing that, bro? Because he's feeding into that Mark fan base where it's cool to hate Vince Russo. So if I call Vince Russo a homophobe, I'm going to be over with our Mark fan base. And I'm like, bro, like, really? Like, okay. Never had a conversation with the guy in my entire life.
Yeah. But, then again, you look at AEW and, having wrestlers as VPs that aren't qualified to be vice presidents of companies. So, it definitely goes into it. But Vince, we are wanting to sort of start wrapping up and be appreciative of your time. But look, anytime that we can have you back on Wrestling with Tragedy, it'd be an absolute honor for us to chop it up again, maybe with some other cases. But Angel, why don't you start taking us home, brother?
Oh, thanks, boss. I really appreciate it. You want me to shine your car and then, and stuff like that. Anyway.
Hey, when we're done, make me a coffee, bitch.
Hey, if it's that Russo coffee, I'll definitely try it,
Yes, Broasters, yes.
Yeah, Broasters. I got to try some of that. Hey, guys, I really appreciate you showing up on Wrestling with Tragedy. Definitely check out smartcups.com. If you ever need something that gets you going, definitely check it out. Smartcups.com will get your day right. Look at Pierce. He's bright and sunny. What time is it out there in Australia?
It's 1:45 a.m.
Ooh-wee. And that's congratulations to smartcups.com. Check it out. He won't regret it. And Pierce, close it off for me.
Absolutely. If you want to get an exclusive first look at all Wrestling with Tragedy case numbers, you go over to russosbrand.com. You can find our show, Wrestling with Tragedy. You can also find amazing shows by Taylor Hendricks, Shane Douglas, Two Man Power Trip, Big Vito, the beautiful people, Vince Russo, Ben Hameen, Stevie Ray, Stevie Richards. The list goes on. And there is some amazing deals going on over there.
I'm so happy you left Disco out of that. But go ahead, bro. There you go, guys. People unsubscribe when you mention Disco, so thanks for leaving him out.
No problem at all. But, Wrestling with Tragedy, we are the Russo Brands Crash Investigation Unit. So make sure you tune in every single week. Angel, as always,
that's a shoot.
You're looking up. That's a shoot, kid. Peace.